another relaxing, invigorating ASMR session. So, in this video, I'm just going to be talking about different things that have helped me be more healthy, feel better, things that have helped reduce drastically, to be honest, reduce stress, so that, can really help others. I want to talk about the things as well, though. So, like, before I get into all of that, I just want to talk about this silicone scrubber I recently got. As soon as it arrived, I just started playing with it because I like fidgeting with things sometimes. And I realized this would be like a really good ASMR trigger. Hopefully y'all like it. It's actually kind of funny. The brand that it is, it's called I Talk Gawk. Why would someone name it that? That's actually really funny. We actually had one before, but one time I went to my grandma's and I accidentally left it there, and, my grandma's, it's a place that's notorious for, like, if you leave something there, it's probably not going to be there the next time you come back. So that's very unfortunate. But it's okay. At least it wasn't something, like way more important. But also, another thing I did want to talk about as well is I actually recently went to Barnes & Noble with my family. It was pretty fun. So it's always fun when they're fun, relaxing, invigorating. It just makes me, like, I go in there and it just makes me want to learn. The smell as well. The smell, oh my gosh. It reminds me of, like, the smell, like, when you walk in Target. Like that signature, like popcorn smell. But with Barnes & Noble, it's different. I'm not saying it smells like popcorn. I'm just saying it's, like, very, like, you get, like, attached to that. But, like, yeah. And I ended up getting 3 books. So the first one here is called The Artist's Way. Now, this one is a book about, helping people with their creativity, which I definitely feel like I absolutely, need to improve that aspect of myself. And I mean, especially as an artist, that is something that I want to, be able to continue to make a career, make it, make it into a career. But I know I need to, I'm already at, like, I think, like, a good level, but, I definitely feel like I have a lot of room for improvement, especially, absolutely, when it comes to, digital art, because digital art I've never been good at, but that's something I have been trying to get better at. But anyways, yeah, I think this will help me. I read a little bit of it already, and it's going really well so far. The author's just talking about, how different artists, like, have read this book, or, like, I think it was, like, they're saying, like, an earlier version of this book, previous book, maybe, by the same author that, like, and that it really helped them. It even helped people that, like, they thought that they just weren't a creative person, and they ended up being a poet or a really good musician, things like that. Because for me, like, I remember, like, when I was younger, I definitely had a lot, like, my imagination was, like, off the charts crazy. And I think I definitely, like, the creativity that I had was very, 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 very much so. But as I've gotten older, I feel like that part of me has gotten, like, smaller and smaller, so I think this will definitely help me. And I know part of the reason was because of I would say it like this, like an unnecessary medication that I was on. Not on anymore, by the way. Haven't been on it for, like, how long is it now? Probably like 3 or 4 years, honestly. Honestly, I really regret taking it. It was kind of pointless, but I don't really want to get into that. Anyways, I'm sure this sounds really nice. This might be my favorite trigger. Okay, so now I want to talk about this next book that I got. It's a manga. It is Beastars. Yep. Man, I read a decent amount of the first part of it. And oh my gosh, I love it. I didn't expect it to be, like, just immediately, dark and tragic, though. Like, that was kind of surprising. But not in a bad way. Anyways, the reason I ended up getting this is because I was recommended 2 previous mangas by a friend, and I ended up really liking both of them. And so I got Beastars because it's like it's a pretty similar type of manga, with your anthropomorphic animals and so on and so forth. Just, like, really been getting into that. Yeah, I really like it so far. Okay. And also, the other book that I got is a book that's gonna help me get better at drawing people. Because honestly, like, I've drawn for most of my life, but people is, like, one of the things that I never really did. Although, now that I think about it, I did draw Michael Jackson a couple times, but, that's really about it. I didn't really, I never really drew people. I think the number one thing that I drew the most was definitely ships. I think, and cars as well, when I first started drawing. But yeah. Okay. Here's a new trigger. This is actually a peppermint tea bag. Okay, that was really loud. I'm sorry. I did not mean to smack my lips. But what I was going to say was, actually used to drink peppermint tea a lot, but I can't anymore because I've been looser. So anything that relaxes a muscle called the esophageal sphincter, I cannot consume. But if you don't have to worry about that, then I do recommend it. It's very relaxing. It smells amazing. Obviously, it's, good for your breath, freshens your breath. It has anti-inflammatory properties. Another tea that I also liked a lot was chamomile tea. Especially, like right before bed, because it makes you sleepy. I really liked it. It kind of tasted similar to peppermint tea, actually, but kind of more like floral rather than minty. Though it did have a little hints of mint as well, to be honest. Okay. Honestly, this brand that I got is really not a good brand, though. I don't know why, but I just decided to get whatever tea I saw, rather than try to look into and get an actually good quality one. I wish that's what I did when I could have still been drinking it. But at least now I do have a use for this tea in this type of way. Okay, so one of the things that really helped me with stress and with just regaining my strength and my health, physically and mentally, was blueberries. So blueberries are high in antioxidants, which are molecules that help protect cells from damage by free radicals. Now, free radicals are unstable atoms that can cause oxidative stress. So, maybe you're wondering, how do they work? Well, they work by, quote unquote, donating an electron to free radicals, which stabilizes them. Now, I actually recently switched to, rather than, conventional blueberries, I switched to wild blueberries. Now, the reason for this is that wild blueberries actually have about twice the levels of antioxidants compared to conventional blueberries, which obviously is a huge win, huge positive. But honestly, like if you're going to eat blueberries, definitely, I mean, like I just said, get the wild ones, get the wild blueberries, but also freeze them. So then you won't have to worry about them, spoiling very quickly at all. They literally will last like months, maybe even like a year or two, I'm not sure. But yeah, definitely a lot longer than just, in the refrigerator. Ooh, but I know a good healthy combination would be blueberries with plain Greek yogurt. Now, okay, this is another one of the things that has really helped me a lot when it comes to gut health, because that was one of my issues, because I had really bad dysbiosis. So the reason that plain Greek yogurt has helped me a lot is because it is really, really, really good for your gut. Because of the probiotics in it. It has live and active cultures in it, which is beneficial bacteria for your gut. And because of that, it can help a lot with, it can help restore an imbalance in bacteria in your gut, which it absolutely has done that with me. But it helps with digestion. Also, it's another thing, I mean, it's Greek yogurt, so it's very high in protein as well. Also, calcium. Very good source of calcium. And I think it definitely, because of all of those things, it eases digestion and everything, and all the previous things I just said about it. It definitely also helps with stress as well. So yeah, just like I know I was just saying like blueberries, but like really just like berries in general, like raspberries, strawberries, maybe blackberries as well, a lot of the berries. But for me, the three that I ate are raspberries, blueberries, and strawberries. But yeah, like those combined with Greek yogurt is really, really good for your gut. And you got the fiber from the fruit, you got the probiotics in the yogurt, the protein. I mean, it's so amazing. It's so good for you. So good for your brain as well. That's another thing about blueberries. They're really good for your brain. It helps you be concentrated. It helps you be relaxed. It helps you be more sharp, Good for memory as well. Oh. Well, you know what? Speaking about memory, another thing that I do want to talk about as well is just reading. I did just say, before I started yapping about blueberries and Greek yogurt, the 3 books that I got. But that's another thing that I do like doing that I think also has helped me, especially when it comes to mental health, is just reading. I feel like it's improved my train of thought. I don't have as much like brain fog compared to before, and I have noticed that my memory is definitely improving. And of course, it's good for your imagination, because you're picturing what you're reading about in the story. But then also it's good for improving your vocabulary, but also improving your speech abilities, which I definitely needed help with a lot, and I feel like I still do, because I swear, like, when it comes to, I mean, I guess I still have, like, like, a bit of social anxiety, because I am kind of an introvert. No, it's not as bad as it used to be, say, for example, like in middle school, but I think I do definitely still need to work on it, but, I mean, I'm getting there, I'm getting better. But yeah, okay. Let's see. What else? Oh, another thing. Like I said earlier about probiotics, another thing that is really, really good for your gut as well is prebiotics. Now, these are things like undigestible fibers that your body actually can't break down, but what it does do is it feeds good bacteria in your gut. Now, another reason that prebiotics are good for you is that it can help with constipation as well. And prebiotics combined with probiotics will definitely help you have a more regular, let's just say, bathroom visits, and hope you have like healthy stools, So that's great. Because I mean, I know this is like definitely like taboo for a lot of people. Like, it's definitely not something that a lot of people would be willing to admit that they have trouble in the restroom. But hey, come on, we're human. It's okay. It's okay to talk about it. But yeah, I mean, it's not okay. I mean, you shouldn't have a hard time using the restroom. That's not normal. If you have issues with like that, then hopefully these things that I'm saying will definitely help you. Now I'm not saying I'm saying that you should you need to eat healthy 100% of the time. But I think a good rule to follow is I think at least 70, 30, 80, 20, 90, 10 if you're that committed. Of mostly eat healthy, but you can also have days where it's your cheat day. But I think a good tip would be when it comes to especially things like fast food, candy, soda, anything, and literally really any junk food, any and every junk food like that. It really it should not be a normal part of your diet. It should not be an everyday thing. Or else, if it is, you're gonna end up getting really sick like I was, and I would not wish that on my worst enemy. I would not. It is not something that anyone should go through. Anyways. Let's see, what do we have here? Oh yeah. I guess another thing I want to talk about is that when you do consume junk food, or really I'm mainly about to talk about consuming high amounts of sugar. Now the problem with this is that when you do that, your energy levels are going to just be all over the place. And because of that, it can lead to things like insomnia. And obviously with insomnia, you're not going to get good sleep or any sleep at all. And because of that will also further harm your gut and the balance of bacteria. So yeah, very important to try to take the best care of yourself. And I know, I think maybe a lot of, especially like younger people, they may think, oh well, I'm young, I don't have to worry about my health till I'm like in my 30s or 40s. But really, it's best to, it's best to start, taking care of yourself as soon as possible. You should not be okay with throwing your health away. So, with that being said, I hope that this was a good, informative, yet relaxing video. Please, 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 take care of yourselves. Have a nice day, evening, night, whatever time might be where you are. I hope you enjoyed the video.